Greetings, viewers, and welcome back to Just Short of Fantastic. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and more importantly, Happy New Year. We made it! Yay! We all survived another year. We've gotten to the end of 2022, and as we are looking ahead to 2023, I thought it would be fun if I used my last vlog of the year to talk about goals. Specifically New Year's goals that everybody likes to make. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit before I dive into my 2023 goal. I'm going to take you back to January 2020, the year everything stopped. I had decided to revamp the way I do New Year's goals. Instead of making some nebulous, like, I'm gonna exercise more, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna start a new diet, I had decided, looking at my book reviews from 2019, I'd only managed to read 35 books, which for me is not great. I was quite upset. So looking into 2020, I was hoping to read more. It turns out that lockdowns were very conducive to my new goal, because my new goal for 2020 was to read one book a week. And that would at least allow me to hit 52 books, which sounded great to me. So to achieve this goal, I would select my books, kind of plan out in advance. I would divide the pages into 7 days. I would have daily page marks that I had to hit. I had to read like X number of pages each day to finish the book in a week. I managed to read 68 books. So in 2020, I decided I wanted to read more, and I really liked this goal and this way of setting goals a lot. So through 2020, podcasts became like an even bigger thing than they had been. And so for 2021, I had decided that my new goal was going to be listen to a podcast episode every single day. And the great thing about podcasts is some are 3 hours long, some are 30 minutes long, some are as short as 7 to 8 minutes. So it was a really achievable goal. I went through, I researched, I found a whole bunch, put them all on a podcast catching app on my phone, and whether I was walking to work, making dinner, or just, lying on my bed, I had a podcast of a good length to listen to, and I managed to knock that goal out of the park. Podcasts that I really enjoyed and still listen to now are No Such Thing as a Fish, which is a BBC-run comedy podcast where 4 hosts gather around and they share their favorite facts that they learned in the week. That one is always entertaining and informative. And then another one by the BBC is You're Dead to Me, which pairs a historian with a comedian, and they talk about a historical figure. The historian is a specialist and they tell all these things about it, and then the comedian is there to add humor and to also have a test of what they learned during the podcast, and that one's always funny. Of course, it's mediated by a BBC host. What's Her Name podcast, which is run by 2 sisters, and it is fascinating women you've never heard of. I listen to that one every Wednesday, and I have learned about so many historical women who have done amazing things, and I highly recommend that one. Another feminist one is Feminist Frequency Radio, and that one's focus is Be Critical of the Media You Love, where they talk about pop culture, movies, TV shows, books, events, social media trends, all that kind of stuff. And possibly my favorite podcast is Alex Steed and Sarah Marshall's You Are Good, a feelings podcast about movies. That one is always a treat. They're always just genuine, sincere, and positive. I love it so much. Can't recommend it enough. And then another one that I really enjoy is called Musical Splaining, and that is about a musical theater aficionado and a musical theater hater, and they get together and they choose a musical and they hash it out. There's a podcast out there for everyone. And then in 2022, I decided I've got a whole bunch of comic books and graphic novels sitting on my computer that I just haven't gotten around to reading. I decided that 2022 was going to be the year of the comic book / graphic novel. I decided that I was going to set myself the goal of reading one comic book or a graphic novel per month. And me being a super overachiever, I would often read like an entire series in a month. I read Neil Gaiman's Marvel 1602, which was really interesting. It's like, what if the Marvel superheroes had been born into Elizabethan England? That was really fun during the Spanish Inquisition. So there's a lot of like X-Men persecution stuff happening, which is cool. Another one that I really enjoyed is Sex Criminals, which is about a couple who every time they achieve orgasm, they stop time and they use that time to rob banks. Because why not? Oh, another one I really enjoyed was Paper Girls, which is about 4 paper delivery girls in the 1980s who end up going on a time hopping adventure. That one was really fun. I'm probably forgetting a whole bunch that I really loved from this year. My goal for 2023 is to catch up on some really good queer Netflix shows, and I'm going to watch one per 3 months. So I'll give myself 3 months to watch one show and then move on to the next and the next and the next. As of right now, I've chosen Heartstopper, Young Royals, and Uncoupled. And maybe for my 4th one, I'll hop over to Crave and watch the L Word Generation Q. I remember when the first L Word came out, I was intrigued by it, but I didn't have access to it. So I'm excited that I can watch this new generation, and I hope that it's even more queer than the original L Word. And there you have it. That is my SMART goal for 2023. A SMART goal is something that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Don't waste your time chasing after goals that you think you need to have that don't bring you any joy. Choose something simple, small, achievable that you can do in 2023 to make yourself a happier, maybe even better person, although no pressure, no judgment. I just hope that this video has inspired you to do something in 2023 that will make you a little bit happier, bring a little bit more joy into your life. Anyway, have a safe, happy holidays. Happy New Year, best of luck in 2023, and we will see you there. Until next time, stay just short of fantastic.